Okay, we are live, and we're going to go live on Amazon here real quick. Just got to wait for everything to get caught up, and we'll get things rolling. And today we are looking live at the Fire Max 11. This is their new premium tablet from Amazon. And I have not, well, I did some research on it to start with here, so I do have my details starting to flesh out. And this is, I guess, going to replace their top-end tablet, which was always their most powerful one. And so this one is now the new most powerful. And we're going to do a whole bunch of stuff with it and see what we get here. So we got Kevin Hawthorne here, and Matthew is here. And yeah, this is like the first major new one in a while. And I just got this in yesterday. So we will get moving here. All right. So let me get my act together here and get started. So yeah, so we're going to unbox this. At some point, Jake is going to swing by and pick up a computer. So we may have a little bit of an interruption. But I just want to get a sense as to what the performance is like on this one. Ooh, a bug. Is that a bee? No, it's not a bee. And we'll just get a feeling for how it all works and see what it's all about. So what we're going to do is open her up. Zip. And eventually, when I'm done with this, one of you will end up with it because I usually sell things. I've got to do a sale. I have so much stuff that I have to get rid of that we need to get rolling here. So we will be doing that. And Junebug is joining us. Thanks for stopping in. What's good? Well, today is the last day of school for my kids, so they're excited. And now I got to figure out what to do with them all summer, right? Inky Steve is here, and Carol is joining us. Good to see all the familiar faces popping in. We used to do this a lot more frequently when we were all locked inside all day long. Ooh, it's like metal on the back. There, this is pretty nice. Is it metal? It feels like metal. Yeah, it's like a metal backing on it. It feels pretty nice. So it looks like, kind of a 16:9 aspect ratio on this. And so what do we got? We got our Pogo plugs. I didn't get the keyboard for it. I do have a USI 2 pen coming in because it does have USI 2.0 pen compatibility. But it actually looks pretty nice. It looks like it's got stereo speakers up at the top there too. And you got your USB-C. I did check already. This does not have video output through that. And if I look at this correctly, maybe there's a fingerprint reader there. It almost looks like that's a fingerprint reader on the side. Let's fire it up here and see what we get. It's pretty loud, actually. And we have our USB-A to USB-C cable. And depending on the battery level, I might plug it in for a little bit. And then for a power supply, just a little one, a 9-watt USB-C power supply. So this will not charge all that quickly via USB-C. But there you go. All right, we got some more folks coming in here. So we've got Take Hero, LOL. Got the Max 4K. Yeah, it's a nice upgrade, the Max 4K. We got, let's see, Carol says the Ring of Power. Yep. Darth Bane is here. Dominic is here. Yeah, it's been a while, Dominic. Good to see you. Michael Rousseau is here. And yeah, no wireless charging on this one, although they do have it on some of their other ones, right? So that's true. Josh Sessions is here. Let's see if I can get this name right. Olalua Omakanawe. Let me know, how did I do? Let me know if I got that close to right. Michael is here from Oxford in Amish country. My brother actually has a couple of videos on his YouTube channel. If you go to Rugged Ridge Forest, he has a couple of Amish-bred horses, and he went to an Amish horse auction I think in Ohio to get them. So Yeah, the SoC on this one is a MediaTek MT188, I'm sorry, MT8188J, sorry. 8188J is the thing on there. All right, so let's get this thing set up here. I'm going to zoom in the camera a little bit. It's a lot louder than prior tablets. There's definitely a premium to this thing, for sure. All right, I'm going to set this up manually here, and let me do that off camera because I'll probably have to type in passwords and stuff. All right, so it's finding my Wi-Fi, and I'll check on what Wi-Fi it is connecting with when we get it going here. All right, we're getting our IP address. We are connected. It says just a sec. And, oh, it's got my thing in here. Okay, so now now I've got to type in my Amazon password. And like all my passwords now, I have like this ridiculously long password. And I really wish they had an easier way to do this. Okay, so let me go find, maybe there is an easier way to do this, and I selected the manual way, which is probably the wrong way to do it. But let me go ahead and just, oh my goodness, my password is ridiculously long. So bear with me for a few minutes because I have no quick way of typing this in at all. So we're just going to have to type this in. And you can all talk amongst yourselves here. All right, that one, and then I got to do this. Yeah, so I use Bitwarden now for my password management. And when they had the big debacle with LastPass, I had to change all of my passwords as a precaution. And boy, did that take a while. So what I did, though, was like, well, I'm going to make everything like ridiculously secure. So my Amazon password here, I don't even know how many characters this is now. And I have two-factor on top of that. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff to type in here. And it's like all gibberish. So there's no, and I can't just copy and paste over to this thing. So it takes a little bit longer to type it all in. Almost there, though. And hopefully I get it on the first shot. Otherwise, I got to go through character by character and see what this looks like. See, normally when I'm on my phone or whatever, it's not a big deal because I just paste it in from, or Bitwarden just fills it in for me. I'm starting to set up passkeys also. We should probably do a video on passkeys. I haven't had it work successfully yet for me on Google, so I need to do a little bit more with it before I need to get a better understanding of it. All right, let's see. If I did this right, it's going to ask me for my two-factor. Did I get it? I did get it. First shot. How about that? All right, and then I've got a two-factor code to type in. So let's do that real quick. And then we should be good to go. All right, wow, lots of comments here. So let's go through them. Hey, congratulations to Carol. That's a big baby. That's awesome. Yeah, my oldest just turned 10, and she just finished the 4th grade here in the U.S. right now. She's actually getting out of school as we speak. And it goes by quick, let me tell you. It's scary. Congratulations, though. So I'll have to check on side loading. Eventually you can do it. I know side loading is easier, but that'll be something we explore with this. And I'm missing a whole bunch of comments. Hey, James Randolph is here. Ricky is here. I missed you. Let me know. And I'm sorry, I didn't get it right. Sorry. Well, you have to email me your pronunciation so I get it right the next time you're on. Mark Sohan is here from New York. And congratulations going to Carol from Junebug there. Flood of Sins is here. Roxanne is from Lake City, Florida. We have Lakeland, Florida, and Lake City. Yeah, this is a nice premium build. And Matt says this looks like more 4K. Yeah, you're getting the real deal here. This is like, live and in charge. But yeah, we're 4K live streaming as we are. There we go. We're good to go. Because I actually record on the same system I stream from, so it's pretty much the same activity when we do this stuff. All right. And this is their premium tablet, $229. And I'm just going to register. I'm not going to restore anything. I'm just going to start from scratch. Now, this does not have GPS on it. I did look into that. It looks like it only does it based on your Wi-Fi information. And I will get the screen brightness up. I have to get through the setup here to do that. We do have an update. After all, our live streams lately have been the update show. Yeah, there's a lot of these portable monitors, absolutely. You know what's funny? I've been using my iPad as a portable monitor to my Mac because it's seamless. And the other day I didn't realize this was a feature. You can take your keyboard and mouse on your Mac and just like move it over to the iPad when it's next to it, and it just works. It's amazing. And Dominic had a 7th gen HD10. That was right. That was like their flagship for a while, right? And he got a lot of years out of it. Yeah, once they start working, they're great. And Albert's got a 2019 FD. Yep. And you know what? It'll be good for that forever. And that's the use case. It's mostly like a nice little consumption device, right? I'm just going to plug in some power here while we're loading up. Where is the USB-C on this sucker? It's on the bottom. Let's give it a little bit of juice while we're updating. And Dominic also switched to Bitwarden. I like it quite a bit. So this is Fire OS 8, which I believe is the one you're referring to that's based on Android 11. So I don't know if you're going to get all the 64-bit Android apps to sideload. We'll try that, though. And Matthew's been attempting to set up a Bitwarden container. And actually, what you might want to look at, Matthew, I may look to do the same thing, to be honest with you, because I've been using Tailscale now, so I've got a really good VPN solution to get at that Synology all the time. They are updating the Synology operating system to 7.2, and they have a new container app to replace the Docker one. So all your Docker stuff's going to work, but when you update, there's now a project option that'll take a Docker Compose file. So if you've got something, I haven't tried the Bitwarden yet, but some apps, if you will, install like a whole bunch of containers that depend on it. So I've been trying to get PeerTube working, for example, so it installs a SQL database, all this stuff in separate containers. So what it does is it actually groups it all together into a project file, and that might work a little better for you if you're having trouble. I have not played with it yet, but that's on the list. And I was just thinking about my Chromebook Duet. I've got one hanging around here. But yeah, right now I'm using Bitwarden's Cloud, the free tier, but I would like to maybe self-host at some point. And I think I might, I had avoided it because I didn't want to open up my Synology device, or the container for that matter, to the world. And because I want to get at my passwords when I'm not here. However, what has changed is that I did that video on Tailscale, and now I've got an easier way to stay connected to the house over Tailscale. So I may look at doing that next, because then I don't have to expose it. I can just connect over my Tailscale network, and that would work. So that's what I'm looking at. Send me a link to Lon at Lon.TV, James. I'll take a look. Just email me. I'll look at it later tonight. Yeah, I've been messing around with passkeys a little bit. Yeah, this one is $229 for the entry-level model, Carol. So yeah, it is a little more expensive, but still well under what an iPad costs these days. There was a time when you could get the entry-level iPad for $249, and I bought 2 of them when it went on sale for my daughters, because that was a great deal. So, and Mark is interested to hear about the performance. Yeah, this one, I'll tell you what, this does not feel like a cheap device. Like, it feels, in the hand at least, it feels much more premium. It doesn't have one of those coatings on the laminated display. It doesn't have that like you would see on the more expensive iPads, but it's got a nice feel. The curb appeal is definitely here. So we'll see what happens. And yeah, I may look into seeing if we can sideload on this one. I have that app hanging around somewhere that does that for you. I got to look into that as well. What I want to do is test it without that stuff installed so that we can get, you know, the good sense as to what the consumer experience is going to be like. Basic Pixel says, I wonder if Amazon is ever going to trade. Remember those Amazon phones? They were pretty good, pretty cool phones. Joshua's here from Eugene, Oregon. Yeah, it's true. Motorola is still hanging around. Lenovo owns them now. And they actually have a ThinkPad phone coming out soon that works with their laptops. Maybe out already. Motorola's smart. They've looked at more of the bargain space. And Brightburns is wondering about, I got a somewhat sizable, I haven't really collected all that much yet, but I do have a good amount of Blu-ray 4K films. Still don't have time to watch them. I used to watch a lot of movies, and I just don't have time anymore. My kids aren't into movies like I was, so that's part of it. All right, so we're going to just have me as the tablet user here. Well, maybe I'll put my kids on it. All right, so let's continue here. Oh, it does have fingerprint. Check it out. So I'm going to try and get that set up. So that's a new thing for a tablet from them. So I'm going to create a pin here. Give me a second to do that. So yeah, it's got a fingerprint reader. All right, so let's agree and continue here. All right, so now I'm going to touch the fingerprint reader. Where is it? Is it at the top maybe? Let's see, it is. I'm just going to unplug it for a minute. It is at the top, so I'm going to just hold it like this. So this is a pretty big upgrade from their prior units. You never had any of this kind of stuff, right? No metal casing. No fingerprint reader for that matter. Yeah, I'll post the specs here in a minute, everybody. All right, we're good. I'm not going to do good reads right now, and we'll get through it. The screen will get brighter in a minute here. The upsells begin. You want to sell me on some stuff here? All right, let me see. I got a lot of questions here. So let me go back to, if I miss you, just ask again, and I'll try to pick it up on the next go around. Yeah, so we'll run some benchmarks if I can get those installed. And yeah, so this is an 11-inch display. I will put, here, you know what I'll do? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this document that I'm working on. I'm going to make it so anybody with the link, and that way you can just go to the link, and you can see it there. And bear with me for 1 second here. So what I'll do also while we're doing this is I will put this in the document. All right, so I'm actually going to do you one better. I'm going to put the link to the Google Doc that I'm creating as I am working on my cheat sheet for the video. So I'm going to go over to my live dashboard here, and we're going to dial that in. Bear with me, folks. Just waiting for YouTube to catch up. Specs. There's actually a good amount of interest in this one. I'm getting, we got a lot of live viewers. It's funny. I can often figure out, like, just from the live viewership, how well a video might do. So this is helpful. All right. So if you click on that link in the chat on YouTube, that will take you to the Google Doc that I have put together for you all. And hopefully you can't edit it. If you can, we'll figure something out. Yep, there we go. Perfect. Yes, you're not able to edit it, but you can see it. And if any of you request edit access, you're not getting it. All right, so let's see if this fingerprint reader works, right? So we're going to turn it on. Okay, it didn't lock the screen here. Now you saw there it had an ad running because this is the one that comes with ads. And they've got Microsoft 365. How about that? So I have a subscription to that, so maybe we'll play around with that. This does have pen support. And I didn't have a USI 2.0 pen available. And there is a pen that they're selling with this thing. Let me see what they charge for that. So the stylus pen that they're selling for this is $35. What did I just spend? Can I get this tomorrow? Well, I can get it tomorrow. I just paid more for like some knockoff one. I should have, why did I do that? Let's see if I can cancel the order. The pen's actually not that expensive. Let's see if it lets me cancel it, because I'm just going to order the Amazon one, which I can get tomorrow. Perfect. All right, so let me get the Amazon pen. So the Amazon pen is only $34.99, and I believe that pen is USI compatible. So I'm just going to order that pen real quick, and I can have it tomorrow, I think. Yeah, tomorrow, June 16th. I'll buy that sucker right now. So we'll have the pen tomorrow. So by the time the review gets up, you'll see the pen. And hopefully my points get reimbursed here. We'll see what happens. Okay, so let me do that real quick. Delivery on June 16th. Perfect. All right. It's coming right to my house. Okay, so now let's turn it back on again. So when you turn it on, you get an ad. And then if I hold my finger down here, how does it work? Let's see. I'll try it again. So turn it off. Turn it on. Boy, they're really hitting you up with the ads here. Oh, we're still onboarding. So there we go. Okay, so now we're in.
Alexa is on your tablet. You can use your voice to open apps.
All right. And we also have a hands-free, which we'll do. Okay. Mute your A-word devices. Okay? Alexa, what's the weather?
Right now in Ivoryton, it's 73 degrees Fahrenheit.
All right, good. So that works. Okay. I had to do it. It made me do it.
Forecast has clouds with a chance of showers.
Okay.
A high of 76 degrees and a low of 58 degrees.
All right, now we got our screen brightness up here. Looks pretty nice. It feels a bit zippier than I'm used to on these things, so we're off to a good start. The battery's got 70% in the tank, so that's good. I will plug it in and just see if we can get a little more juice going here. So we'll let that charge up. Let me go into, I'm just thinking out loud here. Let me see what I can install on it that we can play around with that I've got in my library. So if I go to my library, these are all the apps that I've installed previously. So let me install CPU-Z, why not? Put some games on here. And I also, I think, have, Pac-Man 256 would be a good one. Roblox, they actually put Roblox like on the box or on the promotional stuff. So we'll see how that plays out here. Oh, I got my Sonic CD. Yes, I had bought games on like the original Fire TV years ago, and they all just kind of carry over when I do this stuff. I had GTA, one of the Grand Theft Auto games through this, but it doesn't look like that's available. Oh, it's got a separate section for games. Let's see. I will put Luna on here because I get free streaming games with Luna. Yeah, I don't see the Grand Theft Auto stuff here. Yeah, I'm not seeing that. Okay. And I'm curious if the speed test .net app is on here. So some of the games that I know I have in my library aren't here. So for example, I had, what was that game? Shovel Knight was a game that I had. And that's not showing up. All right, so let's go back to the App Store itself. And I'll take some more questions. I missed a bunch here. So the non-ad version, if I go and look at that, let's take a look. So if you don't want the ads, it's $244. So it's an extra $20 without the ad. So it's still less than an iPad. And by the way, in addition to the onboard storage, this one has 64 gigabytes. There is, on the bottom here, an SD card slot. And you can put up to a terabyte in there. So you have some ways to augment the storage if you want to do that. Yeah, we do have that. Perfect. All right, so let that one go through here too. I've got some stuff I'm going to side load too, so we'll see if we can side load in a minute as well. Because I have a few apps that I like to install that are more up to date than what you'll find on the App Store there. All right. Yeah, so the pen for this, usually the pen is like costs an arm and a leg. The pen for this, the Amazon branded pen, costs less than some of the generic ones that are out there. So that's not a bad deal. And I think it's a USI compatible pen, so it should work with anything that supports that. All right, I am totally missing questions here, so let me see. Yeah, so it's USI 2.0 on the pen. I will add that to the document. Oh, I did do that, okay. USI 2.0 pen support. So the pen we can't do today because I was stupid and didn't order the pen when I bought this thing. So I will do that. Let's see what else we got here. Any other interfaces? So you have the USB-C, but I think it's just power and OTG. So no video. Timon says Geekbench 5 scores 700 and 2,000 single and multi. I should run Geekbench, shouldn't I? I've also got the 3D Mark test that I like to run. We'll run wildlife on it. So you know what I haven't determined here? Let me try a different finger. I'm just trying to see how it... Okay, so you know it has been unlocking. So if I put my finger on, that unlocks it. So, you know, with the iPad, which does not have ads, when you fingerprint on an iPad Air, for example, it lets you in. Here, it unlocks, but you got to look at the ad before you can pop in. So even though I've unlocked with my fingerprint, I've got to look at the ad. So there's still a swipe up because of the advertising. So $20 if, you know. Yeah, they did shrink down the bezels pretty good here, Dominic. Much better than before. Yeah, and I think this is the way I look at it. And I will say this: if you've got kids, and Carol, who's got a newborn now, congratulations, you'll discover this. What I have found with my kids, because I had started them all on Amazon tablets because they were cheap, and if they broke, it didn't make much of a difference, right? My kids did not respond to the Amazon tablets the same way they did to the iPad. Like the iPad just made more sense to them. And I don't know if it's maybe the speed of the interface or what, but they seem to do a little better with those. Okay, so let's go out to here. I do want to test the Wi-Fi real quick because I don't know if it has Wi-Fi 6 or not. I will check the specs on that. And I will also put in the document a link to there we go. Okay, so I'm going to put a link to the technical document so that you can find more there. And you'll find that in the Google Doc. That's pinned up there. All right, so if I go over to that specification page, it does support Wi-Fi 6. How about that? So let me unlock this thing again. The only thing I'm getting confused about is where the power switch is. All right, let's get moving here. All right, bear with me, everybody. All right, we're good. Okay, so all right, so I'm going to run a quick speed test here, just over the Wi-Fi. So, you know, it is Wi-Fi 6, but I'm wondering if it's only a single channel, because my iPhone will get about double this, if not more. So I'm going to run this again, actually, and do some B-roll. So let me get that set up real quick. This is the Fire 11. And let's do that again here. Let's test again. And people say, well, you shouldn't do this as a speed test, Lon. You've got, you got to do it local. Like, well, I have 10 gigabits of up and down bandwidth now. So I've just been running internet speed tests lately just because that wasn't a good result in the upstream. It looks like maybe the server got hit with something. Let's try it again. One more time. But yeah, I could do an iPerf test just to confirm it. But it looks pretty consistent that it's maxing out around 360 megabits per second. It should be getting around 700 to 800 based on what my other devices get in the same spot. Which is fine. I mean, it's a tablet, right? You don't need super fast bandwidth, but my iPads do better. So that's that. Okay, so we got that done. I wonder if they have added anything on the 3D Mark side, because the 3D Mark test on Amazon has always been a bit out of date. And you know, it's not even in there at all anymore. But that doesn't matter. We can sideload it, I think. But I will say the resolution of the display is far better. It's pretty nice. Yeah, I'm coming into this, Donald, feeling pretty good about it myself. It's looking good. So I did not get the bundle, but I did order the pen, so I'm going to get that tomorrow. How useful is a tablet without Prime? I would say it's probably just as useful as any other tablet out there. The one frustration you'll run into, and I will look into getting the Google Play Store on here, is that you don't have access to the Google Play Store. The other thing I want to look at here with the CPU-Z app, I don't know if it's going to tell me what version of Android we're running here. or what whether or not it's 32-bit or 64-bit. Here, I'll put. Yeah, you guys can see this all on screen here. But what you'll find on the App Store is that a lot of the apps are older versions. Like they don't seem to update the Amazon versions as frequently. So what I want to do now is I have on my NAS here at the house, I've got a bunch of apps like just sitting on my server that I can pick off the local web server here. So we're going to grab a few of those and see how that does. It's got to see what the names of these files are. Web. Yeah, so let's go and grab the Silk browser. Where did Silk go? Do they even have a web browser? There it is, web internet. Okay. My big gripe with this stuff is that with the Amazon tablets is that you still don't have a proper YouTube app. At least you haven't had them recently. So we're going to connect to my local NAS here. Oops, 2.227. And we'll go 3D. Oops. And if you hold down the number up here, it'll do the number. All right, so let's see if it picks up that file. Looks like it didn't do it, or maybe it did. Let's see, good downloads. Oh, there it is. And we're going to allow it to side load. And lickety-split. See that? Side loading. Check. And let's position this around this way here. All right, so I'm going to download the wildlife test. Seems to want to orient itself this way, so we will abide by its wishes here. And we will get to Minecraft. Don't worry. How long for a full charge? I bet you it'll be a while to get a full charge because it is not, the charger it comes with is like your standard 9-watt tablet charger. So I don't think it supports the faster power delivery you'd get on some of the other USB-C devices. But let me check that to see. See, I don't think it supports USB PD. I think it's just standard USB power on there. But let's see if it can run the wildlife test at a minimum. We'll get a good sense as to where this stacks up with some others. And then what I'll do is as we do this is I will update the document that's pinned. And so you'll have comparatives on the benchmarks. So you can look at that. And this does have Wi-Fi 6. Oh, the Fire TV stick yes, that one does have it. All right. So let me run it with the demo first, just so you can see its graphical prowess. It'll look cool. I'm just going to plug it in here and then I'll run a proper test where I'll take the result from the unlimited version. But these are fun to watch just because it kind of shows what kind of frame rate it's able to maintain. So if this was on an iPad, believe it or not, like this thing would be running a little bit smoother. But don't let this discourage you because this is kind of pushing graphics hardware a bit more than a lot of the games you would run on it. So when we boot up Roblox and Minecraft in a few minutes, you'll see a bit of a difference there. And yeah, we'll take a look at Geekbench also, if I can get it on there. And I still have, I actually have a couple of NVIDIA K1s here, two of them. I haven't booted them up in a while, but yeah, those are great. I don't know if I don't think they're updating them anymore though, right? And I will agree on that front. They have very good parental controls. They do have this added subscription program you got to look out for, because I had set it up on my kids' iPads and I forgot that I had done it because they gave me like a year. All of a sudden I got billed for it. I was like, what is this? All right, so I'm going to run this again with the unlimited, but the score is not bad. So if you go to Lon.TV/benchmarks, that is my big benchmark table. And there's a wildlife section on there so you can compare the score. And I'm going to run this in its unlimited mode. But where this is coming in right now is kind of where the Pixel 4a came in. Actually, the Logitech G handheld gaming device that we looked at not that long ago scored in the ballpark of this one. So that's not bad. Now, what I'm going to do here is switch this to the unlimited test. And the reason why I do this, especially for this test, is because this display is running at a higher resolution than this test runs at. So what it's going to do is basically render everything internally so we can take out any upscaling out of the equation for its graphics performance. So we'll let that kind of do its thing. I think the 64 gigabyte is fine because you can always add an SD card if you want to expand storage, which, by the way, you can't do on an iPad. And let me tell you, my kids have the 32 gigabyte models, and I am constantly taking stuff off. Like, it's a nightmare. So on here, you do have the advantage of the SD card that you can add to the mix. All right, Jake is on his way. So let me get this thing ready for him real quick while that's running. Never ends here. We're always doing something. So I'm going to have Jake do some testing on the Asus laptop I got in the other day. That was in our last stream. It is super. This is the whole thing. Check this out while the test is going. This is like a 4070 with like the latest Intel, I think it's the latest Intel chip on board. Look at the power supply. That's a 200 watt power supply. Look how small it is. Isn't that crazy? So Jake's going to get some testing done on it, and then we'll have a review of this next week. But I've been really pleased with that machine. Like, if I was in the market for that right now, I would be looking at one of those. It's an Ace. I forgot the exact model number, but it's a nice little unit. So, yeah, exactly. They allow it on the Fire TVs, but because I think the complexity here is that on Android, which is what this is running the open source portion of Android. And in order for the YouTube app to work, you'd have to be able to install all of the Google Play services first, because the authentication is all interweaved with that. So that's why you don't get the real YouTube on here. They do have like a fake YouTube app, which works, but it's a web wrapper. So the YouTube that you're going to see in the App Store, and I'll show this to you, is not actually YouTube. It is an Amazon app that basically is a web wrapper to YouTube. It looks the same as the app does, and it performs largely the same, but it's not the app. So just be prepared for that. But yeah, I mean, you're right. If they can make it work on the Fire TV, why not make it work on the tablet? I don't know. And there's nothing wrong here. This is how this test renders out. You can see that it's rendering all the frames here and just putting them in a little box. And then when that's done, we'll get the final score. Headphone jack. That's a good question. I didn't look to see if there was one. You know what? I don't think there is a headphone jack on this thing. You know? No headphone jack. That's surprising, huh? It's funny, usually the cheaper devices have it. This does not. Let me make a note of that. So we'll add that to the document here. You know what, I think this is kind of a good way to do our specs discussion, is to just give you access to my Google Doc as I'm putting it together, huh? You can kind of see our process. So what I do for every review is I do up one of these Google Docs, and I fill in all the stuff I want to talk about. Because I don't script anything, so this is the extent of the scripting that I do, is I kind of put the little cheat sheet document together. And what's nice about it is that I reference these. It's almost like having a little database, because I reference these when I'm reviewing something. So yesterday I shot my review of the Asus ROG Ally handheld, it's pretty powerful. And I was looking for some things on the Steam Deck review that I did, so I was able to refer back to some of the details from the document that I had put together. So that's how I usually do it. Yes, if you go to the Lon.TV/benchmarks, you will see in the wildlife section, I think I ran it on my kids' iPads. Let me take a look here. Yes, so the iPad 10th generation is in there, the A14. My kids have the 8th generation with the A12, so it's all in there. So, case in point, Lon.TV/benchmarks, the 8th generation iPad that my kids use from like a couple of years ago with the A12 is about 5 times more powerful on this. The score is 5 times higher. So 5,598 on the old iPad. The 10th generation iPad, the current low-end one, scores 7,807. So that's kind of important, I think, right? To note that. That said, this comes in at 1,061, which is right. I'll put I'll keep the screen on longer here. It comes in right around where the Logitech G handheld came in. It may be on a similar platform. All right, so this is the Amazon Fire 11. Is that what they call this thing? Fire Tablet 11. Fire Max, sorry, Fire Max 11. And for a processor, it is the MediaTek MT8188J, which is one that I have not encountered before. The Logitech G has a Snapdragon. So 1061 at 6.40 frames per second. And that's on the first run of that. So there you go. Amazon Fire Max 11. Now what I will probably do, because I ran this on the iPad, again, Lon.TV/benchmarks if you want to see the benchmark test here. If we go over to the 8th gen, well, I did not run the unlimited on that one. So I'll do that offline. But you get an idea as to what it's capable of. So, it is what it is. And there was a request for Geekbench, so let's see if we can find that. I don't know if that's on the store here. I may have to sideload that one too, but let's take a look. And in case you're curious, we were able to sideload. So we were able to bring in stuff that way. But the performance here, honestly, this is not bad. I mean, I think it's a lot better than some of the other ones. What I will do is I'll start filling in the spreadsheet a little bit here on the thing. So I only have one Fire tablet on the list here. So 3D Mark Wildlife. So I'm going to do the other test also, just so I can compare it to some of the other Fire devices. But what I'm doing now on the document is I'm filling in the scores that I got for this one, and then I'm going to put in a few others that I think are relevant to compare it to. So we're going to put in the Logitech G handheld, for example, which comes in very close in score. And I think that's relevant because that's kind of a current device that you can get that, it's kind of geared towards gaming, although that one's geared towards game streaming, but nonetheless, it is a streaming device. And I'm also going to drop in the iPad 8th generation, which is an older iPad, but I think it's important to just kind of put that in perspective. And I might bookend it with, I may put the 10th generation in here too for the heck of it. People get angry when you put too much iPad in there, but I think it's relevant because if gaming performance is important to you, then this matters, right? And I'm going to also set the screen to stay on longer here. So let's go into settings. And I think that's going to be under display. I've got it at 100% right now. It does have adaptive brightness, which is off right at the moment. And let's see, where is the screen timeout? Here we go. So we'll set that to 30 minutes. That should be enough to keep it in place there. All right. All right, so let me get the rest of this fleshed out here. I mean, I guess I could put like the... So the problem is I haven't tested an Android device in a while, so I'm trying to find a good comparative here that I've got in my database. Actually, you know what I could do? I could put the Pixel 6a, I'll throw in there. That's got the Google Tensor chip, which I think you'll find on the new Pixel tablet. I think I ordered one. Did I order one? I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I did. So that should be a good mix of examples. All right. So we wanted to see Geekbench. So why don't we load that up real quick? And let's do, we got to do them separately here. So let's do the CPU benchmark first. And we'll throw that into the database. And I'm missing questions here. Yeah, you're in that boat where you got to get APK mirrors where you're going to get a lot of these apps. There's still some good stuff on the store, but a lot of it's out of date. Razer says that they've done a purge on the Google Play Store, so all updates need to be sideloaded. Yeah, that's that almost defeats the purpose if they did that for security reasons, right? Like you're all. So we'll let this kind of run through here. So Roger P. wants to know, would I recommend the Fire Max 11 or the iPad Pro? I think they're in very different market categories. So I think if you are just consuming media, I think the Max here is going to be fine. It's a real improvement. It doesn't feel like a budget device anymore. That's my takeaway right now. Is it feels like a solid. It's got a metal back. I mean, the screen isn't laminated, so you don't have that going for you. But the resolution is better. The old versions of these had like a 1080p-ish display. So it feels nicer. But there is, Fire OS does have some compromises. It's Android, but it's not going to run with all your Google Play stuff. And we have a new follower on Amazon, Donner Karana. Thank you for the follow. And we'll just let this benchmark run out here. Nothing exciting here, but it will run through. And then what I will try to do is install the Dolphin emulator, because given the performance that I saw on the benchmark, it should be possible to run a few Dolphin games on this. But in the past, we haven't been able to get that to run because it requires a 64-bit operating system, which I don't think this supports. Oh, we could try Fortnite. Yeah, I think that might work if it does install. All right, so the Geekbench test is almost done. Then we can do some more fun stuff on here. And I'll probably pair up my Xbox controller with it too. Hey, for any of you gamers out there, it looks like Spider-Man Miles Morales is on sale on Steam for $33. Is it summer sale? Is that hit, or this might be an early bird? I love the Steam summer sale because I buy up a whole bunch of games that I never play. But my library gets flush. And you know what I'm going to be doing too? I'm going to be working on this maybe later today or tomorrow. And this lines up with what one of the commenters said earlier. The Mac got a port of No Man's Sky, but it was done by Hello Games, the makers of it, and it runs amazing. Like it runs at decent settings on my MacBook Air at 60 frames per second. It's incredible. It's amazing. All right. Excuse me, Geekbench. So let's go to Geekbench 5. Single core 688. You know, it actually did a little better than like an HP Windows machine on a single core score. I take that back. It was in the ballpark of it. My scores are not sorted out here appropriately. All right, so let's do the Amazon Fire Max 11. And this has the, let me get the right thing here, the MediaTek, whatever it is. Got to give MediaTek credit. They've really come up with some very good processors that are not that expensive. They can get into these devices at a reasonable price. And then we can run the compute test also, get that over with. So compute. Let's run that. May as well just get it all done now, and then we can play some games and have some fun with it. Yep, we have Minecraft. Lots of requests for Minecraft, so I will install that next, because it looks like a lot of people are interested in seeing that. So I will get that installed momentarily. And what I'll do now, while that's running, if you go over to the document, we'll start putting some of that stuff in there. So we'll say Geekbench. And I'm pretty sure I've got my iPads in there, so let's see what I've got. iPad. Oh, I haven't run it on the iPad lately. I should do that. I have the old test, not the new one. So maybe later I'll run it on my kids' iPads. And Roger P. wants to know, who will play Roblox on the Amazon Fire Max 11? I think a lot of kids will, like mine. My kids love Roblox. They play a lot of Roblox. So it's funny, I just got an email from Comcast telling me that they updated my speed, which I knew. All right, let that finish up here. It's possible. You know, they give them different numbers and they have a whole bunch of different different things. All right, everybody, hang on 1 second. I just got to meet Jake out in the driveway. So talk amongst yourselves, and I'll be right back. So bear with me here, folks. Let me just go give this to Jake real quick, and we'll be done. All right, we're back. So Jake's brother looks just like him, and they're not twins. Like, honest to God, if he walked in here one day, I'd be like, oh, there's Jake. It's pretty crazy. The display on this one is 11 inches. It has a fingerprint reader. So if you check the spec sheet, I'll put that in there too. So I need to make a note of that. Demo. And what I'm going to be doing is kind of marking in some of the more unique things that I want to make sure I cover on in the video. So now the compute score is done. And what this will tell us is how its GPU performs. So we can put in 1024 on OpenCL. And I do need to test my kids' iPads later because that would give us a good comparative. For some reason, I don't do a lot with Geekbench. I mean, I guess I try not to put too many benchmarks in my videos. And I found the 3D Mark ones are better for how I look at these things because it gives me a good sense of how everything lines up. But I will put in I think I have the iPad Air with the M1. And this is not a fair comparison. Like the iPad Air with the M1 like destroys it. So you can see where that falls in. So, and it's funny too, where the CPU is not all that off, but the GPU has become so much more important, right? So there you go. Okay, so why don't we get my little stand out and put some games on this sucker. And where did I never put anything away, and this happens every time. I have this great little stand, this Amazon stand, that is not where it's supposed to be. And I would normally blame other people, but the buck stops with me because I did not put it away properly. So it is somewhere in this mess on the floor here. Oops. Yeah, it'll turn up. I think I put it down here somewhere. So what happens is it just falls off the edge of my table here, and then I just lose it for a while. And then I order another one, and then I'll find the one, there it is, find the one that I lost. So you know what I'm going to do? This little stand is so handy, I'm going to add it to the mix. So this is the Amazon Basics tablet stand. And it's so handy. You just put it in here like this, and you got yourself a stand. Let me just give you the other camera view here. And there we go. And I'll go get my Xbox controller out, and we'll see if it works with game controllers. How about that? Isn't that cool? Oops. right, let's see if it works with Xbox controllers. So we'll jump in here, and we'll go into settings, and we'll go to Bluetooth. Bluetooth was off by default, interestingly enough. Now, I would imagine this should pair up with it, but it's not seeing it yet. There it is. And MW says Roblox. Yeah, I think Roblox is going to run really nicely on this, to be honest with you. So we'll test that in a minute. My kids love Roblox. I don't get it, but all right. So the game controller works, and why don't we delve into Roblox? So game mode. When game mode is open, device memory and performance are optimized. Notifications are hidden, and the A word is disabled. All right, and I gotta log in. You know, I'm gonna skip that because I probably don't have it in the right spot. So let me go into Bitwarden here and see where I have that one. All right, 1 second here. And let's go into my Bitwarden to see if I can find my Roblox password, or my kid's Roblox password. Roblox. Apparently I have a password on here. Okay. So bear with me for that for a second. I'll tell you what, I really like the way this thing feels. It feels like a regular tablet. It doesn't feel cheap to me. I mentioned that earlier, but I just wanted to reiterate that. Now, I have not logged into Roblox on my account in a long time because I'm just not into Roblox. Too many kids there. You will find me on No Man's Sky is where you'll find me. That's my deal. And let me put my password in here. Oops. And we'll put my exclamation point there and log in. Okay. Yeah, this is one of the issues with it, right? You don't have the Google Play Store, but there are ways to get it on there. But it does. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I get where you're coming from. All right, so let me boot up my kids like to play in Cookie Swirl C world. So let's go to her thing. She knows how to make money, Cookie Swirl C. You ever seen her channel, everybody? Like, she's got like a gazillion subscribers. All right, so the game controller does not work on Roblox apparently, so we'll have to do it this way. You know what I will do? I will give the overhead view here, and I can record some B-roll for later. Anything I can do to prevent having to... Oh, it runs pretty good. This is really good. It looks great. The screen is nice and bright. The color saturation is spectacular. It's not all that laggy. And that's pretty good. I mean, as Roblox go. And this will bog down on a lot of the cheaper devices, so this is pretty good. And this doesn't surprise me because of what we saw on that benchmark earlier, that wildlife benchmark. You know, it's in the range of some of the other devices that have run games like this quite well, so it's decent. And that's the thing, like the iPad will be a little smoother, but you know, you hit a point where there's a diminishing return. So yeah, pretty good. So if you got a really tough obby, I mean, I think you can do the obby on here. That's what they call the obstacle courses, the obbies. So there you go. That's Cookie Swirl Sea World, in case you're wondering. She's a kid YouTuber, and she makes more money than I do. I think she makes more money than a lot of people do. And she gets to play with toys all day. I mean, she's got the dream job. It's amazing. All right, so let's get out of there. Pretty good. Oh, by the way, 4 gigabytes of RAM. Yeah, the price of Amazon Prime has gone up quite a bit. And I don't, I'm sure the Amazon devices, I don't have a list of what's on sale yet, but I am sure you will find deals on these things. But, this is the high-end one, so it may not be, as big of a deal. The only thing I didn't type in here was the camera. So it's funny, the camera looks like it's going to be this really nice camera because it's got like a bump and everything, but it's only 8 megapixels. So I would imagine and I'll take some pictures with it and video. Actually, let's look at the camera app real quick. I'm curious about the flip it around here. Let's go to video. I'm just curious what it shoots at. So if we go up to settings here, resolution. Video, back camera HD 1080p. So I'm guessing it's going to be like 30 frames per second. So I'll take some video for the review. It's not going to be spectacular. Yeah, Roger says the cameras are never great on these things. But you can see how we're really fleshing out this this document now, right? Like it all kind of comes together as we start putting things on here. Camera samples. All right. So what are we going to do now? I think I want to let's try Minecraft real quick because there were some requests for that. And then we will look at some game streaming examples. So I must have bought Minecraft on Fire whatever a long time ago. You missed Roblox. That's cool. At least my kids think it's cool, although they don't think it's cool when I play with Roblox. So the fingerprint reader is on the power switch. That's where they've got that located. Yeah, so this stand is like, Amazon puts their label on it, but you can get it anywhere or from anybody. But it's nice. It's got like a nice little cushion here on the back. These portions here are cushioned as well. So it's a good little stand. It's good for demoing tablets like we're doing here. All right, Minecraft is downloaded. And we're going back into game mode here, so I'll give you a look at that. And let's see if the game controller works with Minecraft. I'll tell you what, it loads things up really quickly. I'm very pleased with the performance on this. I think it's pretty good. Oh, I got to log in with my Microsoft account now. Good, whatever. Sign-in options. Do I have a way to? No. All right, I got to do it the old-fashioned way here. I have another like million-character password on. I'm pretty sure I migrated my account over, but I have no idea. All right, so let me go into my Bitwarden again here. What I wish they had was a quick way, so I can do this on the Mac. I can very quickly get things on my phone, from the clipboard. It just automatically fires over. All right, let's take a look here. Yep, here's another. No, that's it. That's my old insurance password. Hang on, let's do this one here. I've had so many different health insurance providers. I've had all of them over the last like 5 or 6 years. I just switched. I had to switch again. It's crazy. But I got a good one now. I got thrown out into the individual marketplace, and now I've got a better health plan than I've ever had. All right. And I'm going to find the symbol here. All right, got that one. Gosh, these passwords are, I made some pretty awful passwords, which are good because they're so hard to, you never guess this. Like it just takes a really long time for me to type these things in. And I thought Microsoft had passkeys, but I guess maybe not, or at least maybe it's not supported in Minecraft. What I want to do is get my YubiKey things going again with my Microsoft account, because then I could just plug those in and not have to go through the whole password rigmarole. I can guarantee you that probably within the next year or two, you will see a phase out of passwords as we know them. Because I'll tell you what, like dealing with my parents with these passwords, it has been awful. All right, I can't remember what I just last typed in. This is not going to go well. Oh, I took it. Okay, I got it right. My parents cannot remember their passwords to save their life. And now that they've got passwords for every stupid thing that they log in with, so I've been keeping all their passwords in my Bitwarden because inevitably I will get a call. And they're not compromised at all. Like, you know, they're in their 70s and they're sharp as tacks, but they cannot get their head around these passwords and stuff. All right, we are into Minecraft here. Let's go. Okay, Minecraft. The Xbox controller works. Yeah, I'll probably do the side loading after I get most of my review shot. The reason why is that I want the performance to be what it is for most consumers. And I have found that when you have that thing installed, there's some overhead to it. All right, let's go. I'll tell you what, the screen looks really nice on this. It's IPS. It's probably one of the better, without question the best Amazon screen I've seen. You know what's funny? I see people, I was at Disney World, and there's people walking around with these huge iPads taking pictures. It was crazy. How do you fly a, there we go. I was going to say, how do we fly a Minecraft? There we go. Yeah, looks good. I don't have frame rates here, but I think it's good. So let's get a little overhead view here. Certainly the draw distance is not going to be as big as it would be on a PC. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with this. Not bad. Not bad. There is a front camera. There's one on the front and on the back. So the front camera is right here. It cannot wireless charge. It is all metal on the back. I will double check that, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, no wireless charging. And the USB-C port is only 2.0. And no headphone jack. So if you want audio, you got to plug in an adapter into the USB-C port, which, by the way, it does not come with. So let me see if I can get Dolphin running on this. I'm just curious if it will run. And we can also get RetroArch, which is in the Amazon store, to run on there too. So we may be able to try like an N64 game or something. Yeah, I got it in there. Okay, so let's go and install that. So we'll go back to the Silk browser. I have a feeling that we're not going to get Dolphin working because of the 64-bit issue. And by the way, for those watching, if you could let me know what the best N64 core is. Although, what's the Dreamcast emulator I've been running lately? Redream, that's right. We'll try that next if we can't get Dolphin working. So I have a feeling that we're not going to be able to get that to install. Oh, it did install. Huh. Okay. Well, then what I'm going to do, if that's the case, is I'm going to grab so you'll be surprised. If we're able to get Dolphin running, you're going to see it run a game at a, based on what I'm seeing in the benchmarks, it should run Wave Race pretty well. And I'm just going to install my DS File app, which will let me get at my NAS so I can grab some games off of it. All right, so let me get DS File going here. Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty easy to install your Android apps by sideloading, right? I mean, that usually works just fine. I can't get over how much Jake's brother looks like him, and they're not twins. I mean, if you looked at the two of them, you would say they're twins. All right, so let's get in here. We're going to go to GameCube. I've got my ISO here. We'll download that. I'll throw it in there. Okay, so we'll get that downloaded. And while that is downloading, what I'm going to do is get Dolphin configured. I think I may have to move that file into a different location. But check it out, Dolphin's loading up. Not bad. Okay, so let me go into the settings here. And this is a slightly older version, so I might look at updating this if we don't see decent performance on it. And bear with me, it's got to find where it drops this stuff off at. RetroArch, recent files, DS file. Okay, there it is. So we're going to do that. I'm just trying to figure out how to select the folder that I'm pointing it at. Download. Okay, I want it to be in here. Yeah, I think its Files app is a little different than... All right, let's just try to load it up the other way here. Let's see if I can find it the other way. Oops. All right, let's go back to this thing here. We'll go... can't use this folder. That's right. Okay, so downloads. Let's see if we can use downloads. Can't use this folder. So choose another folder. Okay, so I need to make a new folder. So let me do that real quick and move the file into it. So it's got some of the same security settings that you'll find on Android with this. So I'm going to throw that in there, and then I'm going to take this, and I'm going to, can I move that? How do I move this thing? It doesn't actually let me move the file, does it? So it lets me delete the file, but not move it. What am I missing? Sort by, select all, get info. There we go. Put in games here. Yep, there it is. Okay, so now we've got it where we want it. So now let's go back to Dolphin. And what I'm going to do, sorry for this being a paint drying thing. I don't believe it's water resistant, not at that price. And let's see what we get here. Okay, so we're going to close that out. I'm going to go back to here. I can use this folder. Allow. Okay, so now we're getting there. Boom, check it out. Now, press back to access the menu. Yeah, it's working great. And this is as expected, because this is... let me just make sure I got my graphics set properly. So let's show the FPS. And then I think on the controls, what I want to do is just not have it show the overlay. There we go. Okay, so layout. Yeah. I forgot how to get rid of the controls here. We'll just move them out of the way. So this doesn't bother anybody. Okay. And maybe I got to... Oh, done. Okay. Yeah, I think I got to set the controller up here. Yeah. Config. Where's the control settings? Yeah, let me go back. I'm just going to exit emulation real quick. Sorry, everybody. We're getting there. GameCube input. GameCube controller number 1 enabled. All right, so where's the... So I've got the controller mapped here. Or I've got the controller attached, but I forgot how to set... Maybe one of you knows that. We're getting there. Yeah, so if you rewind on this, we just ran Minecraft and it ran great. So if you rewind a little bit, you will see it. You will see it in there. But it ran great. Any native game streaming? Yes, there is, and we're going to try that out in just a second. I've got the next thing on my list is just that. Ah, there we go. So I have to map controls again. All right, so let's do that real quick, and then we'll get moving here. So buttons A, B, X, Y, start, control stick, up, down, left, right, C stick, up, down, left, right, and triggers, left, right, D-pad, up, down, left, right. Okay, I think we're good now. So let's go back, oops, too far back, and this is going to run really well, actually. And I'm basing this off the fact that what we saw on the benchmark from similar devices that could run this game well. I mean, I'm hearing a little bit of the audio's having a little bit. We're like right on the cusp of what's doable, but you've never been able to run Dolphin on any of these devices before.
Welcome to Dolphin Park. This is day one of the circus.
But it's staying pretty steady at so 30 frames per second for this game is the default, and it's doing pretty good. Yeah, I mean it's running at 30. It feels not quite as smooth perhaps as some of the more powerful devices, but it's right on the money here. A little bit of lag in there, but not a lot. So not bad. Again, this is definitely far more powerful than any of the other Amazon tablets I have tested, including some of their higher end ones. So, yeah. Pretty good. I'm impressed. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right. And it hasn't exploded yet either, so that's good. But I'm hearing strange noises here. Hang on a second. Oh, it was the emulator was making some noise in the background there. Okay. Well, there you go. I think we've got some good performance out of this. So let's try the game streaming now. We'll go to Amazon Luna. And this is their game streaming service. Now, if you have Prime, you get like 4 or 5 games a month, and they change that you can play, and they're unlimited. So right now, for example, oh wow, we got Batman. Can I link my accounts here? Let's see. So I have some Ubisoft games. So they have Batman Arkham Knight. They have Fortnite. And these will, of course, stream. So let me see what I get with, it's a Fortnite. Okay, so I can do Fortnite. Let me try to install that natively. Now, Sonic Colors I probably can't play because I have to have the subscription plan. But Prime members get these games right now. So why don't we do Batman? Now what's going to happen here is that this is going to spin up an instance on Amazon's servers. And are the AI Wiz is here? Yeah, exactly. Oh, you know what I did? I closed my, oh, hang on a second, let me fix this. My title thing disappeared. Yeah, exactly. The chemistry set you had as a kid. Very true. All right. I had one of these Radio Shack kits that they would have it was like a little electronics board and you can build your own little things. My kids have something similar. They have snap circuits. My daughters and I were playing with that the other day. My nephews are coming over this weekend, so I'll probably do some stuff with them. Got to keep them occupied. All right, so now what you're seeing here is not native to this device. This is streaming off of my Wi-Fi access point. Yeah, you know, you get a lot with Prime that you don't realize you have until you go through it. They have a page where there's a bunch of benefits that you can see. I would check that out because there's stuff that you have that you might be paying for elsewhere that you get as part of the Prime deal. And if you're paying, like for example, I never take advantage of this ever, and I should. I guess it's loading still here, it looks like. I'm trying to skip the cutscenes here. But this is streaming, and we'll see how the game streaming works when we're to that point. And while that is doing its thing, let me grab Minecraft, and this is, oops. 202, this is, actually the 300 emulation. Yeah, you get some stuff with Twitch too, and then there's like they have like downloadable games you get. Like there's a lot that you get every month, and I forget to look at. I gotta really get better at this. Epic Game Store I'm also bad about because I don't log in as much as I should to look for the free games. So. All right, I'm trying to get through the cutscene here. Games have too many cutscenes these days. I just want to get to the game and start playing. Although I think this might be a loading screen. Well, that's kind of morbid to start a game off with. Jeez. So this is the Batman Arkham Knight. Hence the Batman logo on fire. Yeah, it's pretty similar, you're right, because it does a lot of the same things. And to some degree, it makes a little more sense to me because you're snapping, it's a little bit more physical. So we're still in cutscene mode here, but you can see the quality of the game streaming through Luna. I find it much snappier. It feels a lot more like a mainline tablet now, and not only physically, but also in its performance. All right, so I'm skipping now. You know what kills me is there's so many great games that I have not played because I just don't have the bandwidth. And it kills me because like I used to really get into games like this. Yeah, so the resolution on this, if you check the document in the pinned thing, this is now 2000 by 1200. So it's a little better than, I mean, it's in the ballpark of 1080p, I guess, right? But it looks really good. I mean, it's bright. I don't know what the nits are on it. Let me check and see if the specs have anything on the brightness. Yeah, they don't say what the brightness of the display is. But they say it's got vivid color, and I would agree. It looks good. Oh, I can move now, okay. Yeah, it runs pretty good. And remember, this is not running natively or locally on the tablet here. We're just using it through the Amazon Luna streaming service. They also have a Luna controller that will connect to the service independently of your device, so you don't have as much Bluetooth lag. But it feels pretty good. Yeah, it looks good, I think. And again, this is all streaming off of Amazon's servers there. So that's good. All right, so let me add that to my captured footage. Yeah, I'm not finding. I'll tell you what. I have a new opinion of these tablets based on what I'm playing with here. This is a good deal. That's interesting. You had a laggy experience. I found it to be okay. I've been a big fan of GeForce Now. I think that one works really nicely. But yeah, this is good stuff. All right, what else we got? Yes, the one thing with Luna is that as a Prime member, you get a collection of games, and then they're gone after they decide to take it off. And of course, they're always pushing you with the subscription here too. So they get you in the door. It's like, hey, while you're here, why don't you pay some money and get going there? And then Ubisoft, I think I connected my account. Oh yeah, now can I play The Division? Oh, I can. Look at that. Huh. So I bought this game on Steam. Actually, I got this game for free with a GPU or something I bought a long time ago. And because I have the Prime account, I can play it through Luna. That is kind of cool. The Luna controller, let me look and see what that costs. So the Luna controller is $50. It's on sale. I don't think I have one, although I suspect that I might. So, now what's going on here? Well, I thought I could load the game, but maybe not. All right. Well, everybody, I just remembered that I've got a conference call in 10 minutes, so I've got to jet out of here in about 5. But this game doesn't seem to be loading. There you go. So let's, yeah. So I'm impressed. I think it's a nice tablet. It's the build quality's decent. I got to take some pictures with the camera in a little bit. No headphone jack though, so that's an issue, right? But it feels solid. It's got nice build quality. It doesn't feel cheap to me. It doesn't feel you know, when you use the old ones, like you take them out of the box and like, it's all right. It's plasticky. You know, it's got that kind of like fresh out of the El Cheapo factory. This feels nicer to me. It's got a camera bump in the back, and you would expect that maybe the camera is like more robust than it is. It's not. It's a lousy camera. So it looks like it's like a higher end camera when it isn't. I think it's got a focus, maybe a focus thing built in, but I don't know. And then you can put an SD card up there. So pretty cool. The Amazon Max 11. Get them while they're hot. All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Yeah, Zoom support. Zoom is on this one. You can get Zoom. And Lon Dog, you got to get into ham radio. There needs to be more Lons on the air, for sure. Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. I'm going to have a review of this up soon, probably by the weekend. So I got a few more things to poke around with on it, but once I get those things done, we will have a review. And yeah, this is a nice one. They've done good. I don't feel as compromised, like, oh, okay, well, it's only this, right? It feels, for the price, I think it's solid. Good luck finding something this nice. But I'm with you, Michael. I don't understand why they're getting rid of these things. The only thing I can think of is that it's one less. I mean, I guess it's all soldered on manually anyhow. So I don't know. They still have to machine out the holes for everything. So yeah. So the only thing we didn't test today was the pen. I ordered a pen. I'll get it in tomorrow. So I will shoot my review of this as soon as I get the pen in. And there you go. All right. Well, let me run here because I got to get on this call that I forgot I had. So I will be back with another stream in the near future. So thank you all for tuning in, and have a great afternoon. Bye for now.